The man said he had a dog that he loved deeply, a loyal companion who had been by his side through thick and thin. Unfortunately, as all life must come to an end, the dog eventually passed away. Overwhelmed by grief and an unbearable sense of loss, the man couldn't bring himself to give his beloved pet a traditional burial. Instead, he made a choice that would later defy all logic and reason. He decided to place the dog's lifeless body into the mysterious hole. He thought it was a fitting way to part with the animal, imagining the vast emptiness of the pit as a symbol of his sorrow and the void left behind by his companion's death. But then, something extraordinary happened. Just a few days later, while walking through the forest, the man spotted something that left him utterly stunned. There, darting between the trees, was his dog, alive and well, or so it seemed. His heart raced as he stared in disbelief. Was this real? Could his eyes be deceiving him? The dog looked just as it had in life, its fur shimmering in the sunlight, and its movements as vibrant and energetic as ever. Yet there was something strange, something inexplicably off about the animal. The man called out to his dog, his voice trembling with a mixture of hope and fear, but the dog did not respond. It didn't come bounding toward him as it used to. Instead, it kept running, weaving through the trees as if it were being pursued, or perhaps as if it were chasing something unseen. Despite his desperate attempts to get the dog's attention, it never stopped, never looked back. It was as though the dog was now part of another world, tethered to a reality that the man could not access. This left everyone with questions that seemed impossible to answer. Could the hole have some strange, unearthly power to bring the dead back to life? Or was this some sort of illusion, a trick played on the mind by grief and the dense, mysterious air surrounding Mel's hole? How best could anyone explain the bizarre resurrection of a creature that had been undeniably dead? As the man shared his story, another neighbor chimed in, adding yet another layer to the ever-deepening mystery of Mel's hole. He claimed to have witnessed something equally unsettling, a dark beam of light emanating from the hole and shooting straight into the clouds. He described the beam as unnatural, almost malevolent, with a strange energy that made the hairs on the back of his neck stand on end. Though he admitted that he hadn't seen the light himself, he insisted that others had reported similar sightings. Listeners of Art Bell's show quickly weighed in, confirming that Manistache Ridge, the location of the hole, was infamous for all manner of strange occurrences. Some claimed to have seen UFOs hovering in the area, while others spoke of mysterious disappearances and other bizarre phenomena. These accounts painted a picture of a place steeped in mystery and unexplained events, as if the ridge itself were a magnet for the supernatural. Many speculated that the hole might lie along a ley line, an invisible network of energy believed by some to crisscross the Earth. If true, this could potentially explain the strange events surrounding the hole. Others believed the pit was a gateway to another dimension, a portal that connected our world to an alternate reality. They theorized that whatever was thrown into the hole, whether it be trash, animals, or even lifeless bodies, wasn't simply disappearing, but was being transported to this otherworldly place. However, skeptics quickly pointed out flaws in these theories. If someone or something was truly down there, catching everything that entered the hole, wouldn't they have grabbed Mel's fishing line during his experiments? And how could such a being possess the power to bring the dead back to life, like the man's dog? These questions only deepened the enigma, leaving more doubts than answers. The possibility of an intelligent presence within the hole was both thrilling and terrifying. Could there be a super-empowered entity lurking in its depths, capable of manipulating life and death? Was it playing with Mel's fishing line, resurrecting animals, and perhaps even orchestrating the strange signals and anomalies reported near the pit? The mind reeled at the implications. One of the most daring listeners of the Art Bell show even volunteered to enter the hole, determined to uncover its secrets firsthand. But Mel and others quickly dismissed this idea as too dangerous. The risks were too great, and the unknown too vast. Instead, technology was employed. A drone was sent into the abyss, its cameras and sensors primed to record anything unusual. What it captured, however, only added to the mystery. Strange, inexplicable images were sent back. Flickers of light, shadowy shapes, and patterns that defied all known scientific explanation. The deeper the drone descended, the more erratic and distorted the feed became, as though the hole itself were fighting back against the intrusion. Then, without warning, the connection was lost entirely. The drone, like so many other objects before it, vanished into the void. What was happening deep within this enigmatic pit? Was it merely an extraordinarily deep hole, or was it something far more sinister, far more incomprehensible? As Mel and his neighbors continued to unravel the mysteries of the hole, it became clear that the answers, if they ever came, would change everything we thought we knew about our world. Right in eastern Washington lies a strange hole, Mel's Hole, a seemingly bottomless pit wrapped in mystery. Discovered by local resident Mel Waters, this hole has led to a series of unsettling discoveries and inexplicable events that defy logical explanations. Recently, a drone was lowered into its depths only to capture eerie images, leaving even the most experienced scientists perplexed. What is happening on our planet? What's this mysterious hole? Join us as we delve into the mind-blowing story of Mel's Hole and the terrifying secrets hidden within its dark depths. Chapter 1. A Mysterious Hole in Manistash Ridge. Jay Nickel, a 34-year-old man who spent all his life in Ellensburg, said a hole exists about 7 miles from Manistash Ridge. He recounted that he and his friend rode bikes around the area. According to him, it doesn't make any sound when they hurl rocks down the hole. This sounds like what Mel Waters would later mention in his hole description. Then came Rodney, who worked at a snowmobile dealership in town. According to him, the story of a hole in the ridge had been common for decades, but he had never seen it. Mel Waters, a man searching for tranquility, is drawn into a mystery. Seeking a quiet and solitary place to live, he purchases a property in Manistash Ridge and settles there with his wife. Little does he know that a few meters from his new home lies a mysterious hole, seemingly decades old, waiting to be discovered. According to Mel's description, this wasn't an ordinary hole. It has a large circular shape and is about 9 feet wide, encircled by a stone wall. After about 15 feet, all that you would see is complete darkness. For years the hole had been the dumping site for Mel's neighbors. When Mel found it, he said he and his wife also disposed of trash. However, this hole never fills up. It keeps taking the trash but still has space for more. Mel became curious. One of the hole's most perplexing aspects is its silence. When objects are thrown into it, there is no echo, no indication that they have reached the bottom. To probe this enigma, Mel, drawing on his skills as a fisherman, decided to measure the depth of the hole. He attached a 1-pound weight to a fishing line and lowered it into the pit. Astonishingly, after 4,500 feet of line, the weight had still not touched the bottom. Mel was not bothered. He was bent on knowing the hole's depth. So he pushed the line back up and attached a lifesaver candy to it. This was to know if there was water in the hole. He released the lifesavers, but they were dry when he pulled them back up. This experiment showed that there was no water in the hole. Then, Mel attached more lines to the fishing line and let them down into the hole. He did this until he had used up to 10,000 feet of line, yet there's no bottom in sight. He continued until he had used up to 80,000 feet of lines, yet there's no bottom. Mel couldn't keep his discovery to himself, so he decided to tell the world about the mysterious hole in his backyard. Could this be what led the government to the site and the subsequent use of drones in the hole? Keep watching to find out. Chapter 2. Art Bell Radio Program. Mel thought of the best place to go to tell the world about his discovery. Then, he stumbled upon Art Bell's radio program. Why had he chosen this among others? First, you need to know about Bell and his show. Bell was a well-known broadcaster. Unfortunately, he had passed away. He was best remembered for his coast-to-coast AM radio program. This program became popular due to its examination of unusual objects, conspiracy theories, and paranormal events. Late-night programming on Coast to Coast AM began at approximately 10 or 11 p.m. and continued into dawn, concluding at roughly 4 a.m. Bell's engrossing storyline and dynamic hosting manner enhanced the program. Bell's program explored various topics including cryptids, alternative medicine, government cover-ups, ghosts, and UFOs. In addition, he offered a forum where visitors, professionals, and phone users could exchange views, opinions, and conversations about these outlandish subjects. Bell's show attracted listeners looking for unusual and thought-provoking content, building a community of people fascinated by out-of-the-world discoveries. Thus, Mel Waters knew this was the perfect show for him. Therefore, on the 21st of February, 1997, Mel sent a message to Art Bell. Perhaps the content detailed all that he saw because Bell gave him a call quickly. They had a phone chat, and Mel attended a show for the first time. Mel made his first appearance on the show and detailed all that he had seen and heard. Soon everyone began to talk about the hole. During the show, some advised Mel to use special light beams to see the depth of the hole, and some said he should use radar to see the ground. But then, Mel had more to say about the pit. Aside from the strangeness of its depth, Mel reported that animals stirred clear of the hole. They don't want to move near it at all. They always act as if something frightens them from the hole. He also detected that odd and unclear signals affect his radio whenever he nears the hole. There was an occasion when his radio started playing some tunes that had reigned decades ago. When he tried to change the station, he discovered that it only changed to a 1967 baseball game. This was more than 30 years ago. The area around the hole is always silent, like a graveyard. But then, while animals stir clear of it, plants seem to have no problem at all. Mel also said that he was not the only one who noticed the bizarre attitude of animals toward the hole. His neighbors said that their dogs also act the same way. As they discussed it, another neighbor told a short story that added to the mysteries surrounding the hole. Now sit tight. The man said he had a dog that he loved so much. Unfortunately, the dog died. Well, what happened after that? Out of grief and compassion for the dog, he didn't want to bury it. Instead, he decided to put the carcass into the hole. But after a few days, the man said he saw the same dog running in the forest. What? Could this be true? The man said he had called the dog, but it hadn't answered. The dog only kept running as if something was after it.